What's going on, YouTube? It's James with Shyhammer Fantasy Battle Reports, and today I got a game against Rick from Friday Night Dice. And Dan and I traveled out to Friday Night Dice, which is in like Woodridge, Illinois, and it's at Joe's basement basically, and he has some really good tables. He has pretty much every army and every army book available if you want to play different army and just mess around. He has also other games like X-Wing and 40K and a bunch of other stuff too up on display, so you could just like pick up any game and play. So that's a pretty cool thing about Friday Night Dice is it's just a couple guys going out down to the basement and playing some board games or some table games. So basically, I got a game against Rick. I'm bringing out my WCW list just to test it out again. I mean, this is pretty much what I'm bringing to WCW, unless I want to take a dock on points. But um, he brought out his Beastmen army, which is first time for me playing against a pure Beastmen army. And we're gonna see what he brought, and also what I brought. Not only that, but here is actually a picture of my BSB for the tag team tournament. It's on a boar. I kind of told you guys about this a couple videos ago, so I just put it up here right now. There's yeah, that's my Black Orc BSB on boar, and I've been getting a lot of compliments on it on Facebook, so I just decided I'll put it up here so you guys get to see it. That's pretty much the only picture I have of it, I think, right now. But yeah, I did freehand the banner. Some people are calling bullshit on that, but no, it really is free-handed. And yeah, anyways, guys, hope you enjoyed that. Let's go over what I brought. Over here, I got my two Doom Divers. I have a Spear Chukka, and then I have two Goblin Chariots. Over here, I have a unit of 6 trolls, and the guy on the right is my new troll, Tesai. Now, Tesai is, even though it's supposed to be freaking, what's his name, Mulg, I think his name is, but whatever, from Hordes. He is so freaking big that they cannot stand next to each other. There's like no, I've been trying to play like Tetris with these guys to see who could stand next to who, and it's so hard because they're both too huge. Which I'm okay with. I like big freaking like bulky troll models. Over here I have a unit of 28 Savage Orc Biggins. In the front ranks I have Dr. Zoidberg, which is a level 4 Savage Orc Shaman, and I have a Savage Orc Boss Hero, which is Bebop. I always mix them up. Bebop is the one holding the banner. The banner is Mork's War Banner. I also have my Black Orc Big Boss, which is War Boss, which is Rocksteady, and he has Crown of Command and some other goodies as well. Over here I have King Koopa. King Koopa is my Goblin hero on a gigantic spider. And he also has like the Armor of Destiny and a great weapon. And then over here I have my 20 Night Goblins with bows, with Fanatics of course. They also have the level 2 Goblin Shaman. Right behind them I have a unit of 5 Wolf Riders, and then another unit of 5 Wolf Riders, full upgrades. Over here I got my Arachnarok Spider. My good and trusty Arachnarok Spider is one of my most solid guys in every game. The only time he really lets me down is if he gets shot by cannons. But again, I mean, that's kind of like, that's the counter to him. But besides that, he's usually really solid in fighting and defense and all that. Over here I got my Mangler Squig, and I believe that might be it. If I'm missing something, it'll pop up soon. As for my opponent, Rick brought out, these are his Harpies. Are they Harpies or Furies? I forgot what they call them in Warhammer. But these are his Harpies. He has a unit of 5 of them here. He has another unit of 5 of them. One of them has Vanguards or Scouts or something like that, and the other one doesn't. He has a 3 Minotaur unit here. They get like that. They get a special ability when they kill somebody. They gain an extra attack. He has a chariot on the left that's like a Tuskor chariot, and then the 2 chariots in the middle. Those are like, I don't know the names of these guys, but I think it's like a Beastigor chariot maybe. I'm gonna just try to see if I can find it really quick while That's not the page. Um, Ruskor maybe? Tuskor. No, Tuskor's the first ones. What the hell are the names of them? I'm pulling this up because it's going to bother me until I figure it out. And there my dog is Razorgore. My dog's going nuts because she really wants to play right now. So those are 2 Razorgore chariots and another Tuskor chariot, and then he has another unit of Minotaurs, and there's that other unit of Harpies that I told you about. Then he has a huge block here of I'm gonna pull this up too because I don't know if, I'm not too familiar with Beastmen because I never really played Beastmen. But these are, I want to say they're Gores. Yeah, I want to say they're Gores. If I'm wrong, you guys correct me. With great weapons. So this is a huge block of Gores with great weapons. It looks like 7 times 4, 32 of them. Okay. And then he has over here 2 more Razorgores on their own. He has his level 4 Shaman. Then he has his BSB. His level 4 Shaman is his general. Over here he has a giant block of Gores or Ungores, whatever they are. He has one huge horde of like 50 of them, and then he has another block of like 30 of them or 40 of them. So these guys have like additional hand weapons. They're getting a shit ton of attacks. Now, this is the list he brought to Dragonfall, even though he probably docked about 500 points out of this army. But he brought this to Dragonfall, and he won, I think, all 3 games in Dragonfall with this list. So it's a pretty tough list for people who aren't ready for a combat block. Now, I did get, for my spells, I got Itchy Nuisance and Curse of the Bad Moon. And then over here I got Gaze of Mork, Fist of Gork, Hand of Gork, and Foot of Gork. He got Wild Form. What is that? The Flock of... I don't even know. Hold on a second, because he took Lower Beast. Flock of something... Anderspark and Curse of Anahur. We did a pitch battle. We did a Dawn Attack. So we basically have to roll to see where our guys are deployed. And as you can see, that's Dan in the back, and that's Rick right in front of me. But basically, this is the basement that I was talking about. You can see the tables are really solid tables. They're really good tables. They have room underneath for like extra storage, and then they also have 2 side trays for dice and just basically a dead pile, so you don't have to have all these dead bodies on the table. So it's pretty fun. And then also I like the fact that it has a little lip around the table, so that dice could just kind of like sit on the lip versus worrying about rolling the dice and it falling off the table, which is really cool. And like I said, he has like pretty much every book there for any army. Anyways, as you can see, we did Dawn Attack. I do have a picture later on of showing like the whole table, how everybody got separated. But I did take my Vanguards up with my Wolf Riders, and they both ran up this side to the right flank. More or less, as you can see, he has the Minotaurs there. And I'm worried about the Minotaurs actually doing damage on the right side. Most of my army's in the middle or the left side, I want to say. So the Wolf Riders are kind of just chaffing up the right side for now. As you can see, this is turn 1. Turn 1, I did win the first roll-off. I rolled Animosity here. Now, if you guys just watched my Dwarf video that I just did and you guys corrected me, Evil Ash, I'm talking to you, and Thomas, I'm talking to you. I failed Animosity, and you guys told me that I'm not supposed to charge. Well, I did this game before you guys corrected this. So I did do the charge here. I failed Animosity, and they're going to force charge into... the Minotaurs. Now, truthfully, I'm not supposed to force charge. I'm supposed to just fail charge and squabble. But that happened. Oh well. They charged into the Minotaurs. As for my other Wolf Riders just basically ran up to the side of the Harpies, and they're just basically going to hopefully do some bow shots onto him. And as you can see here, this is kind of how the board got separated. Most of my unit is in the middle. The Ragnarok and Koopa are using that building to their advantage. Now, I gotta stop using the building to my advantage on the Ragnarok, because I think it usually kind of like actually hinders me a bit, but we'll see. I don't know. Magic Phase got 11 power dice, which is great. I started using this combo, the red and the green, the Holy Hammer and the Dragon. The Holy Dragon is what I call it, because they give me great magic dice. They always give me like 8 plus, so they gave me 11. Um, I throw up 6 dice onto the foot of Gork. I get it off. He dispel scrolls it right away. Then I go ahead and I throw up a couple dice on Gaze and Mork, and he dispels it right away. So we're going to go to shooting. Shooting, these Wolf Riders here are going to go ahead and shoot at the Harpies. Or no, I'm sorry, I don't even pick the Harpies. I end up picking up the Razor Gore, and I do 1 wound onto him. Now, the Razor Gore, I think it has like freaking like 5 wounds or something like that. It's a monster. It's not like, it's, hold on one second. It has a good chunk of like health on it. I think it might have like 3 or 4 wounds. It might have 4 wounds. The Chariots had like 6 wounds. That's what it was. But that's crazy for the amount of points it's worth. It's like, holy shit, it's an actual monster. As for the Doom Divers, I started aiming for the Chariot. I ended up doing 1 wound onto the Razor Gore Chariot here with the white Doom Diver. The red Doom Diver ended up hitting, drifting off and hitting the unit in the back, and I ended up doing 5 wounds to them. And that is going to be that. As you can see, this is kind of how I moved up. I moved up the Chariot on the left side, right by the building, because if he comes for my main block, I'm going to be able to just like charge into him. And then, of course, I moved the Mangler up, but I know the Mangler's probably going to die to the Harpies. And as for close combat with the Minotaurs, the Minotaurs just wiped the fuck out of those Goblin Wolf Riders, and it's going to start off his turn. He's going to obviously combat reform. He combat reforms this way to charge into the rear of my Wolf Riders here, and I have to flee. There's just like no way I'm going to take a rear charge from these guys. So I flee. Now, I have to flee through his Harpies and through his Chariot, and then I pop out the other side. So I pop out like this because we're going center to center from his main unit, and he's going to continue. I believe he continues to charge with his Chariot, and I have to take that, or I have to continue fleeing, and I flee, and he ends up catching me and killing me off the board like that. His Harpies, like I said, go right into my Mangler. Boom! Blow each other up. And no more Harpies, no more Mangler. And as you can see, his other Harpies are going this way to try to release my Fanatics, which they do. And so I start throwing all my Fanatics straight for the Harpies, and not a single one hits. Like, the way I was trying to hit them was so they could possibly get into the Chariots, but since neither one of them went through, the 2 fell short and ended up hitting each other, and 1 just basically fell short and did nothing. So that sucked. As for his main blocks, he's moving up a bit. He's creating like a wave, like a total wall coming towards me, and that's kind of like a scary thing, because look at how many units that is. I mean, he has nothing in the back line, so I don't have anything to worry about in the back lines, but he has a lot of Chariots, a lot of firepower, a lot of great weapons, a lot of attacks. His lord's a combat lord. Now, that forest that he's in is a blood forest, so I take note of that. The forest that I'm by is a wildwood, so it'll hit me the minute I walk in there. Magic Phase, he gets 7 power dice. He goes ahead and throws up Flock of Doom onto my Chariot, and I just decide to take it. I think it's like a Strength 2 missile, and it does absolutely nothing. He does this other one, which is like a spear attack or a magic missile, direct damage or something like that, that does like Strength 8 hit, and that one I dispel. I'm like, I'm not going to deal with that, trying to kill my King Koopa. And it's going to start off my turn. Orcs and Goblins, turn 2. Now, his Chariot was right behind the building, so I decided for my Chariot close to my Savages to charge that Chariot. He decides he's going to flee, so I redirect that Chariot into the Minotaurs, and I charge the other Chariot into the Minotaurs, and only the Chariot on the right gets in. The other Chariot failed charge, which kind of chaffs me up right in front of my own guys, in front of my own Savages. As for this Fanatic actually clipped the Harpies and killed only 1, but, you know, way to go, Fanatic. Not only that, it's getting in the way of his Chariots pretty early on. I decided to move Koopa over here to deal with Minotaurs, so hopefully he could cause them to turn around, redirect, or or he could get a side flank or a rear charge. Magic Phase, look at these fucking dice. These dice are awesome. 11 power dice. I love them. They're going to go ahead and throw up a Hand of Gork onto the Fanatic. So I grab the Fanatic, I pick him up, and I put him right in front of his block here. And I'm just trying to go dice out of him. I throw up 5 dice on the foot of Gork. I get it off. He dispels it. He uses all his dice to dispel it. He gets double 6s. So I use 2 more dice onto Gaze of Mork. It goes off, and I peel off 2 guys right here. But it is in the forest, and the forest goes ahead and attacks and kills off like 1 or 2 more guys. And and then the forest moves, and it moves just ever so slightly this way, and now it's touching both blocks. But I'm out of magic for now. For shooting, my Spirit Chakra goes ahead and shoots at the Razor Gore. It does 2 wounds onto this one. As for my goblins here, my goblins with bows, they shoot off another harpy, and then this Doom Diver decides he didn't want to work anymore. He just snaps the bands, they blow up, and it's a gone Doom Diver. The other Doom Diver, I'm just trying to kill the harpies because I don't want them just killing my fanatics or messing me up. I might have been aiming for the chariot, but whatever. No, actually I think I was aiming for the chariot, and then this one flew way off this way. Over here, the impact hits from the chariot ended up doing 2 wounds onto his minotaurs. His minotaurs just beat the crap out of my chariot. That sucks. And it's going to go ahead and start off his turn. Now, he is getting higher on the body count than me because I lost a Doom Diver, I lost 2 Wolf Riders, and I lost a chariot and a Mangler. And he has a full army still. But I'm not really that worried yet. I'm kind of like, all right, we're doing some good job here. He does move his Furies over here, or his Harpies, whatever they're called. He moves them this way. His winged Gores, or Ungores. He moves them over here on top of the Fanatic, and the Fanatic blows him up. And he moves his chariots up a little bit. I believe it was just a little too far for a charge, so he moves them up a little bit like this. And he also moves that Razor Gore into the forest over there, towards my guys. I forgot what forest that one was though. He does move up his line on the right side like so. And Magic Phase, he gets 9 power dice. He goes ahead and he throws up. I can't even read that one. I think that might be Wild Form, or I forget which one that is. And he ends up getting it off. I just leave it on him. I'm like, whatever. I think this one gives him like extra weapon skill or something, and I'm just like, I'm not gonna get in combat with them yet. He ends up throwing Curse of Andahar, and I decide to dispel that one. And then he throws up the Amber Spear again, and I dispel that one as well with my Dispel Scroll. So we're going to go on to turn 3, Orcs and Goblins. That's it, because he has no shooting. Turn 3, check this out. My chariot could see his chariot far over there. Now, it's a long charge. I think it's like maybe like a 9 or a 10 charge I need to roll. But, you know, it's either that, hit his chariot, possibly destroy his chariot and overrun into his other chariot, or ram into one of these giant blocks he has and does absolutely nothing, kill a couple guys, and they kill me. So we'll see what happens. I decide I'm going to charge my Ragnarok into that unit on the right side there, because his Minotaurs are coming up to my flank here. We are saying that rock that the Minotaurs are by is impassable, so Koopa cannot charge into them. And not only that, but there's no clear spot for Koopa to stop if he does go around or whatever. So whatever. He decides he's going to flee that whole unit of Gores, and I'm like, shit, so I have to redirect. So I redirect into his chariot, and he decides he's going to flee that one as well, and I fail charge, and I fail on the other side of the building, which is like 6 inches, and I'm like, son of a bitch, he just lured out my Arachnarok from the other side of the building, and I'm like, oh, crap, he's staring at a chariot charge, he's staring at the bulls, he's staring at the Gores. I'm like, oh crap. This guy does get in, he charged in, he got all the way over, that's fucking great. And then, these trees were wildwood, and they did a wound onto his Razor Gore. Magic Phase, 10 power dice, what the fuck, I love these dice are great. 10 power dice, I go ahead and I throw up 4 dice onto the Hand of Gork. He doesn't have a Dispel Scroll anymore, so I'm going to pick up my Arachnarok and move him. And he's like, hell no, I'm going to stop that. So he throws up all his dice to stop the Hand of Gork, and so I can't save my Arachnarok. I'm like, you know what? Screw it. I'm going to throw up a couple dice into Itchy Nuisance. I do. These guys are slower. They can't move as fast, and they don't get as many attacks. Okay? And I'm going to go ahead and throw the Foot of Gork onto this whole unit back here. Screw these guys. Foot of Gork goes off, kills off 5 guys. It drifted a little bit, killed off 5 guys, and the Forest ends up killing a couple more. Roll for 4, 5, or 6 to do it again. I get a 3. Wah, wah, wah. Not that great. Not that epic. Doom Diver goes for this chariot over here, and I believe he drifts off. He does drift off. Goes this way. Ends up killing off 1 more gore here. As for the goblins start shooting their little petty shots at this guy right here. End up doing 1 more wound. And then over here, close combat. BAM! I impact hits. Killed this chariot outright. And sure enough, I'm going to overrun. And when I overrun... No, it's not an overrun. So I overrun, but it caused his Razor Gore to panic and flee. So he fled this way. And I ended up overrunning, like, because he fled, like, say, 6 inches or 8 inches. I overran, like, 11. And I caught him anyways, and I killed him. That's awesome. Way to go, Chariot. Of course, the other Razor Gore is still cool in the forest. As you can see, this is how the board looks. It's going to go ahead and start off his turn. Beastman turn 3. He's going to get a rear charge with his Minotaurs here. That sucks. He's going to get a front charge here with his Razor Gore, which sucks. And he gets in. And this really sucks. He charged his Gores into the side flank of the Ragnarok, his Razor Gore to the other side flank of the Ragnarok, and then his guys in the front charging into the front of the Ragnarok. And we're talking about this, and I was like, what I really want to see is if the Ragnarok could hold 1 round. Because that's a lot of attacks. He's like, no, he's dead. He's dead. He's done. I'm like, no. He can still do it. He can still do it. And, of course, this guy got in over here. He moves both his units up over here. And Magic Face, he gets 8 power dice. He goes in and he throws up a couple dice into Curse and her onto me, more or less. So I'm cursed. He goes ahead and throws up Wiston's Wild Form onto his Minotaurs over here. And he's going to go ahead and start off his Close Combat. Close Combat, his impact hits do 4 wounds. Holy shit. My Ragnarok's going, I think, simultaneously or first, and he ends up killing off some of the guys in the back because I just don't want those back attacks. I don't want the Strength 5 attacks. I could deal with Strength 4. I could deal with the one guy in the chariot, maybe the Razor Gore, but those guys in the back, they're going to be Strength 5 with so many attacks. So I kill off one, hopefully killing another one. Don't. I only kill the one that is not in combat, so that sucks. My goblins go. My goblins end up killing off 2 of his Gores over here, and he goes with all his attacks. He does another, like, 3 wounds. My Ragnarok has 1 wound left. He does, I think it was the guy on the chariot, or the little Tuskors on the chariot that went last, and they attack, and I'm like, he gets a lucky 6. He gets a lucky 6, and I'm like, well, it's only Strength 3 or Strength 4. I'm going to be able to stop this. I roll the dice to see if I got an armor save, and I fall short by 1, and my Ragnarok is dead. He got him literally to the wound. To the wound. That sucked. And he's going to reform like this, like so, and that is that. Over here, his Razor Gore killed 2 of my guys. My goblins kill this thing. They're like, fuck you, dude. Which is awesome. That's just great. I think that's awesome that the goblins took care of the monster themselves. And it's going to go ahead and start off Orcs and Goblins turn 4. Orcs and Goblins turn 4. I'm going to do a side charge with the goblins into his Minotaurs over there. I'm going to do a front charge with the trolls into his Minotaurs over there. And they both get in like so. As you can see, Tasai is just fucking huge. He's too big to fit. Oh, man. The Savages sit back, and this confused them a little bit, but I'm like looking at it like I just cannot have my Savage block handle either one of those blocks by themselves because they're going to be whittled down too much. So I'm just going to go ahead and try this. Magic Phase get 8 power dice. I love these dice. I'm going to go ahead and do it. Itchy Nuisance. I get it off. Actually, I think I don't get it off. I might have got it off and failed. No, it's a cast on an 8 and I got a 7. So it fails itself. I throw up the rest of my dice onto Foot of Gork. I'm like, fuck it. And I get double sixes. So he can't stop it. I'm like, you know what? This block right here that killed my Ragnarok, I'm going to stomp on you guys. Fuck this. Stomp on him. Kill 10 guys. Alright? Roll for 4, 5, or 6 to do it again. I get a 5. Let's do this again. Same unit. I'm pissed off right now. You killed my spider. Bam! Get another direct hit. Even if it wasn't a direct hit, even if it drifted any way, I'm gonna hit something because it's such a big block of guys. And I kill 10 more. He's like, you can see the anger in his eyes, like, fuck. Alright, roll 4, 4, 5, or 6 to do it again. Bam! I get a 4. I'm gonna do it again. Now I'm gonna switch over to this unit over here. Weaken up this unit. Bam! Hit him. Kill about 10 to 12 more. Gonna roll 4, 4, 5, or 6 to do it again. Get a 3. He's like, you killed like 30 something guys, 32 guys in one round of footing. I'm like, yep. As for my miscast, I get a 7, kills 2 guys. Oh, that's awesome. I love that miscast when it's like only 2 guys. Over here, I'm gonna go ahead and do my goblin or my Doom Diver into this chariot here. Hits it. It does 2 wounds. Okay. Gonna go ahead and do the shots from this goblin chariot here into his gore unit over here. Kills off 1 guy. As for this combat over here, he's starting to just try to get combat res. So he kills off a couple guys on the left. They go ahead and attack back, or he does his attacks this way. Does 1 wound onto my trolls. My trolls and my goblins go, and they wipe him out to the man. To the man, they killed him off. All 9 wounds or 10 or 12 wounds, whatever they are. And sure enough, I'm going to overrun, and I overrun this way a little bit with the trolls to kind of stick up his unit of gores there. I mean, they're not going to get that many attacks if they're facing just the tip of the trolls. And that is how the board looks. It's going to start off his turn. Beastman turn 4. Beastman turn 4. He's going to go ahead and charge his Razor Gore into Koopa. I believe I stick there. He ends up charging his gores over here to the side flank of my trolls, which I wasn't expecting that one to go. And he ends up getting it anyways. If I ended up staying back anyways, this still was going to happen, so it didn't matter too much. I had to move my troll out of the way because he's just too big. And this gets in over here, and we're going to see how that combat goes. He kind of has to, like, wheel around this house, so he's just trying to move his guys closer over here. Magic Phase, he gets 6 power dice. He goes ahead and throws up Wisting's Wild Form onto these guys. He gets it off, and it's going to start off close combat. That's pretty much his only magic he does. He goes ahead and he throws all his attacks onto my trolls. Or my trolls go. He did charge his gores in. That's what happens. He did charge his gores in. And total, I killed 4 of them. He ends up doing 6 wounds onto my trolls. So he's going to get a charge, a side flank, ranks, banners, BSB, all that. My trolls are going to run, and when they run this way. He decides he's only going to chase with the ones on top. The other ones are going to reform. So he ends up catching them with the guys on top. And I think I ran like a pathetic 3 or something like that. And I think the goblins actually stayed. They didn't fail panic. I think they needed like a 5, and I rolled a 5. So over here, this combat, King Koopa shows why he's the king. He did 3 wounds onto that Razor Gore and killed it. And no wounds are done to Koopa. So King Koopa finally stood his charge against something that was a decent power level to him. And we're going to go into Orcs and Goblins turn 5. Orcs and Goblins turn 5. It's time to bring the savages out. They're going to go ahead and charge. They're going to call out the Wog. They're going to just go in for the kill right now. The Goblins over here are going to go ahead and do a side charge into these guys. And King Koopa is going to go ahead and charge into his chariot over here. So, sure enough, Koopa connects. These guys connect. I lose 4 goblins to the forest. Oh, that's stupid. And I move my chariot over here just to kind of like do petty shots onto him. Magic Phase, I get 9 power dice. I love these magic dice. They're just doing their magic. I throw up a couple dice onto Itchy Nuisance. I think I choked on the mushroom. I want to say I choked on the mushroom. I go ahead and I throw up... what did I do here? I think he lost 2 guys from something. I don't know what he lost 2 guys from. I do a couple dice onto Fist of Gork. Oh, I did Gaze of Mork. That's what I did. I did Gaze of Mork and I killed off 2 of his guys. Then I did Fist of Gork and I got that off. I think he dispelled that one, actually, because I had no more dice. I'm going to go ahead and do... You know what it was? I did Itchy Nuisance. I did Gaze. I threw like 5 dice onto Foot to try to stomp on that unit back there, and he dispelled that, and then I did Fists. And I with like 1 dice, and I might have failed the 1 dice roll. I go ahead and shoot the Spear Chucka. Got a side flank shot on the Great Weapon guys, and I blow up. Of course that happens. I go for the Doom Diver onto the Chariot. It flies off and does nothing. And as for Koopa's charge, he decided he was going to flee, and Koopa fails charge and continues this way. Actually, I might have caught him. We'll find out in a picture or two. No, he just fleed. But since he fleed, at the point of his flee, caused this unit over here to flee, he failed this panic check, and that whole unit of like 32 Gores are running off towards the edge of the board. Impact hits from the Big Stabber, kills 2 guys. My Always Strikes First Lord kills probably like 2 more guys. Okay? He goes ahead and he directs all his attacks on that like left side of the board onto my Lord, kills my Lord, does 3 wounds. Holy shit. I'm going to go ahead and... Oh, my Lord only killed 1 guy. That's crazy. I'm going to go ahead and do all my Savage attacks, my Night Goblin attacks, and all that. And I ended up killing off like 4 more guys and his BSB. Okay? So, he's going to go ahead and attack back. Kills off only 1 Goblin on that side. And I have 2 wounds onto his Lord. And he did absolutely... Oh, he only did... No, he didn't do absolutely nothing to my Savage block. My Savage block just... It dominated. There's like no way he could handle that. It was just way too many attacks. He lost his ranks. I have ranks, banner, BSB, all this other stuff. And I'm going to go ahead and overrun. I have to overrun. I'm frenzied. And I just chase him off the board and kill off that unit. Okay. So it's going to start off his turn. It's Beastman turn 5. He's going to charge his Chariot and his Minotaur into the side flank of my Savages. He's going to rally everybody over on this side, and he's going to move his Gores with Great Weapons back a few inches and closer to the building. Okay? So these 2 units get in. He ends up... We have a question about this one here because he does the impact hits here. Hits my Shaman. Now, my Goblin Shaman is a smaller base than the Savages, so he's supposed to sit to the side of them, which I believe is correct. He said that the Shaman is just going to be in the unit in the front, but it doesn't match up because the bases are different size. So, if he hits the guy on the side, does the impact hit still affect the unit? And can he attack the unit, or is his only attack going to be that 1 Shaman? We did the impact hits onto the unit. I took 1 wound. He ends up doing all his attacks on the Tuskor anyways, like from the beast in the front. My Shaman kills the Shaman, and then his guys scoot up a bit, and then we just do the attacks onto my unit anyways. So my Savages end up killing off 1 of the Minotaurs, and then they end up doing, I think, like maybe a wound to the... I think I do 1 wound onto the Razor Gore. Now, he did charge. He got a side flank. He did X amount of wounds. I still have ranks, banner, BSB, and I did X amount of wounds back. I won combat. He flees with his Chariot and his guy. I believe I end up chasing him down. I want to say that's exactly what happened. I don't have a picture of it. We're going to Orcs and Goblins turn 6. Orcs and Goblins turn 6. I charge Koopa into the Chariot again. He just stands there and takes it. I charge this Chariot into the side of the guys with Great Weapons here. He's going to have to stand and take it. Magic Phase, I got 7 power dice. Why did I not use the other dice? I don't know. I go for Gaze and Mork, and I get it off. I try to hit, I think, like somebody who had like 1 wound on him, but I failed to wound him. I roll a shit ton of dice onto Foot of Gork, onto... Oh, his Chariot got away. His Chariot did get away. So I'm going to go ahead and aim for the Chariot, right? I roll the dice to scatter it like I'm supposed to, and it drifts off 6 inches in the angle towards Koopa, and it clips Koopa. So I do the hit, I do the wound, I do the ward save, I fail the ward save, and it does D3 wounds, which did exactly 3 wounds to Koopa, and he killed Koopa. That's hilarious. I stomped on Koopa. Oh, it's a Mario's foot of Gork is what it is. Anyways, do the 4, 5, or 6, do it again, I get a 6. It drifts off in the middle again, do a 4, 5, or 6, do it again, I get a 5. And it ends up smashing that chariot to pieces. And I'm going to go roll for a 4, 5, or 6, do it again, I get a 5. I'm going to go ahead and try to stomp on this unit back here, and it fails, and it drifts off this way 6 inches. Roll for 4, 5, 6, do it again, I get a 3. Over here, the impact hits, I end up killing off 3 guys. He goes ahead, or 4 guys, holy shit. And he ends up, I believe I had like 1 wound done to my guy, possibly. I don't know how this happened, or he gets 2 attacks each, but he ends up killing off my chariot. So he ends up killing that off, and my savages ended up killing off his last minotaur, and that is going to be that. I end up reforming this way to face that big block of great weapons. It's going to start off his turn 6. He just decides, fuck it, why not? He's going to charge his Tuskor chariot into the side of the savages. He's going to charge his Gores into the front of the savages, and they both connect. Close combat. We're going to go ahead and start attacking. I end up killing off 4 of his guys right here. My BSB goes and kills off like 1 or 2 more, and he ends up killing off my BSB specifically and like 3 more guys, and they're going to go ahead and run. No, actually, I stick? Yeah, I think he actually won combat on that one, but like by 1 or none, or like by musician. I don't remember how that goes, but I end up sticking anyways, and that is the end of the game. He couldn't make my unit run. I have a Savage Shaman in that unit. Oh, I'm Steadfast is why. I'm Steadfast, that's why I lost, but whatever. And my unit doesn't run, and they're going to stay there, and that is the end of the game. We tally up the board, and he lost by like, he didn't lose horribly. He lost like maybe like 300 to 400 points, because that big block had his BSB and his general in it, and he also lost a couple chariots, a couple Razor Dawn things. I mean, honestly, it wasn't the prettiest game I've done because I made a lot of mistakes, I think. I could have had better matchups. I kind of, like, my Trolls, my Ragnarok, my Mangler, they all died stupid ways. They kind of got hit when they should have, like, probably been in a better positioning. My Goblins did really good, actually. I'm pretty proud of my Goblins. Koopa was doing solid until he got stomped. The Foot of Gork was just devastating this whole game. He was like cussing out the Foot. He was like, we should just play with no level 6 spells. And he told me like that's how they did it at this one place that he went to go play at. But so the Foot really did prove valuable in this game. The Doom Divers did okay. They didn't do fantastic. Like some games, they're just hitting everything and just destroying everything. The Doom Divers, one of them blew up and the other one was kind of hitting sometimes, kind of missing sometimes. The Spear Chucker sucks. The Spear Chucker, I mean, always sucks to me. As for the BSB, and he didn't really... Bebop and Rocksteady didn't do too much. They didn't turn off anybody's really good magic powers. I think I ended up killing off his general that way, though, turning off his ward. So that's why he ended up picking out my general and my BSB. And let's see. The Fanatics did okay. I mean, they ended up killing off. The one guy I really liked that took out probably that extra 400 points was actually that one Goblin Chariot. The one Goblin Chariot took out that left side of the board. And granted, he did commit suicide by charging it to the great weapons at the end. But... you know, in all fairness, he didn't have, I mean, I probably should have just waited. If I would have waited on that, I could have charged the chariot with my savages into something else, into that unit of great weapons, and then probably destroyed the block. But I'm really liking the chariots. The chariots are doing great. They're doing solid. Friday Night Dice was a blast, I think. The only thing is usually I work Friday nights, so it's harder for me to get out there. But anyways... my MVP, I want to give it to the chariot. You know what? I'm giving it to the chariot. I know he says it was the Foot of Gork because the Foot of Gork did one phase where it killed 32 Gores. But the chariot did take out a huge threat on the left side with those 2 chariots. It was a Razor Gore chariot and the regular chariot, the Tuskor chariot. And that didn't allow me to get flanked on that side anytime soon. And I just basically held out there, and that kind of gave my savages the middle of the board, while while the right side was fleeing, the left side was fleeing, and I just had the savages in the center. So I'm giving it to that one goblin chariot. Good job. If you guys like this video, please hit the like and subscribe, and I will be putting up more videos very soon. I have a lot of videos coming up. I have the Dice Dojo tournament that came up, and then I have another game at Friday Night Dice where I just got demolished right now. I'm just giving you a spoiler. But anyways, guys, I hope to see you in the next video. Take care. Peace. Leave any comments or feedback in the comment section below, and I always like to respond and hear what you guys have to say. And yeah, I'll see you in the next video. Take care. Peace.